welcome to the channel. My name is Parisa. Each week I post a new video related to flowers, beauty or fashion, so make sure that you have subscribed to this channel by clicking the red subscribe button down below, and also make sure that you check out my Instagram account called Parisa Flowers, where there is a community of flower lovers. So do make sure that you check out the Instagram and do subscribe to this channel. The reason why you clicked on this video was to learn some methods of bouquet wrapping, and I'm going to be showing you 4 methods of bouquet wrapping. 2 methods where I wrap a single stem, and then I'm also going to be showing you 2 methods where I wrap a whole bouquet, so that you can kind of see the difference and choose as well which method you like the best. Before I show you the first method, I'm just going to go through the equipment that you will need. Some scissors, you will also need a ruler, you will need some ribbon, so I've just got this one, and I've also got this one as well. Flowers, bouquet of flowers, which I've just placed in this basket. I went for tulip. I've got lots of sheets of, I think this is a 6 tissue paper or a 5, I'm not exactly sure. I think this is a 6 tissue paper, but it's very big. I've got lots of different sheets, which is great. If you'd like to add more of a special effect, then I do recommend getting some organza. That's all of the equipment you will need to do bouquet wrapping. Here is the first bouquet method that I'm going to show you. For the first bouquet method, I'm going to be starting simple. I'm going to be using one single stem from the bouquet that I've got. You need to make sure that you measure 10 centimeters for the width of the tissue paper, and then just basically cut one long strip, and then when you've done that, cut another one the same length and width, and then cut diagonally, and then just make sure you cut a diagonal line like that through the centre. I have removed the leaves of this tulip stem, and that's just because that's the effect that I want to go for. However, you do not have to do this. And also the width of the tissue paper doesn't exactly have to be 10 centimeters. It does depend on the size of your flower stem. So I'm just going to place the flower stem in the centre of the tissue paper, and then I'm just going to wrap it round like this, and then as you can see, you just kind of curve it. You want to get your other pieces of tissue paper that are cut into the diagonals. You want to make sure that the shortest length corner is facing the other shortest length corner of the other part of the tissue paper. You want to make sure that you place the flower stem in the centre of this, so just like this. And then you want to wrap again like this, wrap again. So then once you have done that, just make sure that you place the flower in the exact position that you would like it to be in. So I'd like it to be like this, and then just curve it into the shape that you'd like. After you've done that, you should get something that looks a bit like this. Tie the ribbon around the stem, and then just do a little bit more fixing just to get it again in the correct shape that you'd like. You can do whatever you want in terms of the knotting. You could do a bow, you could simply just tie it like this. I am going to actually cut these a little bit more so it looks a bit neater. I have actually decided to go for a bow just because I think it makes the effect of the whole bouquet look better. You're going to want to cut the stem so that it looks like this. Here we have your first single stem, and I think this is a really cute method. And you know, if you've got a whole bouquet stem with lots of different flowers, or you know, just lots of flowers in general in the bouquet, then you could give these to a lot of people. And I'm sure a lot of people would appreciate this. So this is the first bouquet wrapping method completed. I'm now going to show you the second method of wrapping a bouquet, and this is a little bit more difficult. Make sure that you get your sheet of tissue paper and that it is cut in a rectangle, and it doesn't actually really matter what size this is, as long as this can fit around the base of the leaves on the stems of your flower bouquet, then it will be fine. Lay your first sheet of paper that you're going to be using on the table. You're going to need to get your bottom right hand corner, and you're going to fold it so that it goes to the other side of the sheet of paper. It looks like this from this way, but it looks like this when it's up straight. You're just going to need to lay it down, and then you're going to want to turn it so that you can then fold the paper so that it goes to the opposite side, so that then you get this kind of shape. And then once you've done that, you get the right side of this part of the paper, and you're going to want to fold it into the middle. So you're going to want to achieve this kind of shape at this point. And then what you want to do is create zigzags along this fold that you just made. You just want to go back, just like this. You're going to really want to press on the paper so that you have got a definitive line. You're then going to continue to do that zigzag pattern. Once you have done that, it should look something like this. And you're going to want to do the same on the other side, but you're going to want to fold it again towards the centre. So you're going to want to fold it to the same direction where you've got your folds that you just made, and so you're going to bring it into the centre like this. It's going to meet in the middle, and then make that definitive fold so that it looks something like this. And then you're going to again want to fold. This time you're going to want to get your fold and do it so that it goes forward like this. Once you have done that, you should create a shape that looks something like this. First, it's quite difficult to get the exact shaping right, because if you don't do the zigzag part correctly, then you won't get the correct shape. This is the shape that you want to go for, because you want to have the two little lines coming out from the centre like that. This is what it looks like from the back, and this is the front. What you're going to want to do now is get your bouquet. Once you have got your bouquet, you're going to want the front side to go to the back of the bouquet like this, so that you then get the better side facing the front. This is probably easier to do actually, just by putting it on the top of your bouquet. Once you have got this onto the area you'd like it to be on, I would recommend getting a piece of ribbon and then just tying it so that you don't lose the shape that you've created. At this stage, you're now going to want to get another rectangular shaped tissue paper. You're going to want to fold the tissue paper in this shape, like this. You're going to want to arrange it so that the corner is like this. And then, this is very difficult to actually stand up. And then you're going to want to wrap it around. So that it's all the way around the bouquet. You should have a shape that looks like this, with the corners going up. Then I would recommend adding about 2 or 3 more sheets of this, again with the corners in the empty spaces. Once you've done 2 layers, the wrapping should look something like this. I still feel like it needs a little bit more wrapping. You should achieve a bouquet that looks something similar to this. Now what you're going to need to do is get the first part of the bouquet wrapping that you made and place it on the front here. At this point, I would recommend doing the string and just tying the whole bouquet together. Your bouquet should look something like this. So I'll just do a little spin. And there is actually more steps. I would suggest bringing your stems as far down as possible, just so that the base of the leaves are around the area that you've tied the knot. This will make the flowers much more secure in the wrapping. I would suggest undoing the ribbon again, but really firmly holding tight onto the base so that you do not lose the shape of the bouquet that you've already created. And then you're going to want to get another piece of rectangular tissue paper, and you're going to want to fold this in a slightly different way. You should get your rectangular tissue paper. You should turn it so that one of the corners is facing upwards, so in a northwards direction. Then you want to place the bouquet so that this part is going upwards, this part is going downwards towards the corner, as you can see, so it's like that. And then you're just going to want to place it right next to the other folds that you have made, and then you're going to want to do the same curve on the other side, like that. You want to do a sort of loop rather than folding it. It just really adds to the effect of the whole centerpiece of this wrapping. And then you're going to want to repeat doing that about with maybe 2 or 3 other parts of tissue paper, up to you how big you want to make the wrapping paper for your bouquet. When you are happy with the number of layers that you have gone for, you just need to tie the bouquet wrapping using another piece of ribbon. You can be as creative as you want with the ribbon. You can, do a bow, you can do a knot, you could do some more spectacular kind of knot. You could potentially create a flower out of ribbon. It is completely up to you, and you can just make it as personalised and authentic as you possibly want it to be. As you can see, I have just gone for a simple knot. I will actually neaten this up. I do think I'm going to kind of change up this corner so that you can see more of the effect of this interesting wrapping shape at the front, and then I'm going to just tidy it all up so it looks a little bit more symmetrical and neater. I've now finished the second method of flower bouquet wrapping that I'm showing you in this video, and I'm so pleased with how this has turned out. I really do think the layers really add such a cool effect to the bouquet. I'm now going to show you what this looks like from a 360-degree view. So as you can tell, I have made it look a little bit more symmetrical, and I really do think that makes a difference. You're going to want to aim to put the right hand corner of the sheet of paper into about the 1/3 quarter of the length of the paper. Where you fold it, you do it so that it's very sharp and neat. It should now look something like this. Turn it so that the corner is closest to the right hand side of your body, and then you're going to want to place the bouquet in the centre. Now you're going to want to aim the paper so that it goes straight forward. So I'll show you what that looks like with putting it up like this. So it should look like this, and then you're going to want to do the exact same to the other side. So far your bouquet should look something like this, and it's not very neat or anything like that. Once you know where each fold is going to be with the vertical line, you just need to then make sure that you fold it again. So it's like you've got this fold here, and then you're going to want to fold it like this, As you can see, it's like this, and then you're going to want to fold that again, so it is like this. And then as you can see, you get that kind of shape at the front. Once you have created this shape, you're just going to need to tie it at the base. This is the first part of the back of the basis of this bouquet wrapping, and now we're going to focus on the front of the bouquet wrapping. At this point, make sure that you have cut 3 rectangular pieces of organza, and then you're going to want to put them into triangular shapes. So the way that you're going to do this is basically just fold it so that you have got a triangle shape like this. Now when you wrap that, you've got the little triangle shape that's sort of forming a flap at the front, and then you're going to want to again repeat this and add 2 more or maybe 3 more of these so that you create layers of these little flaps at the front. You should have something that looks a little bit like this. It It's slightly hard to see just because of the effect of the organza, but it's basically just layers of triangular shapes at the front of the bouquet. In order to finish off wrapping the third bouquet method, you're going to need to carefully place the bouquet onto another sheet of wrapping paper. If I were you, I would place the bouquet on the side that's closest to the top right hand corner of the wrapping paper. What you're going to want to do is fold this so that it goes around the bouquet like this, but then you're going to want to fold it again. So you're going to have to really hold on tight to your bouquet, because if you haven't tied this, then it's extremely difficult to do two things at the same time. So you're going to have to fold it like inwards, like this. So as you can see, this is proving more difficult than I thought to film, but as you can see, I have created a kind of curved shape, and I will make it look better once I have finished the whole thing. You just want the nice folded triangular shapes to appear at the front rather than all of the other kind of mess that you create while you do this. As you can see, this is what the folded part of the paper looks like, and I'm going to aim to create the same shape on this side just to hide, you know, the rest of the organza that I don't want to be on show. Now I'm just going to place the bouquet close to the top right hand corner of the tissue paper. Now I'm just going to wrap the tissue paper so that it's under the triangular part of the organza. I'm just going to get this section and fold it. It's a lot easier to see the fact that this organza is actually in the centre of those two folds. Now I'm just going to leave the bouquet wrapping like this and just tie it and centre it all up a little bit more. I would add more layers, but I do think there's going to be too many layers of paper. In particular, I love the shape of the back. I just think it looks so cool. And then I just love how you've got the little flaps at the front. Now I'm going to show you the fourth method of bouquet wrapping, and this one is going to be with a single flower stem. You're going to need to measure about 7 centimetres, and it does depend on the flower that you're using. I would say for a rough guide, 5 to 7 centimetres for the length that you need to cut. Or you could alternatively just estimate the width and aim to do a straight line along the length of the wrapping paper. As you can see, I have made a rectangular shape out of the wrapping paper. So now I'm just going to place this vertically, and I am going to place the flower in between. What I'm going to do is remove the leaves of this tulip, just because I do think that they are quite big and I want the main focus of this to be on the flower. What you're going to need to do is make sure that you fold the tissue paper very carefully, slightly inwards, so you get this kind of effect, and then you're going to want to do that on the other side as well. This is the shape of the wrapping paper that you should have created so far. If the length is slightly long, what I would do is just cut it, but don't fully cut the whole length of the stem yet, but I would just cut the bottom of this just so that it doesn't get in the way. And then what I would do now is secure that with a piece of string. Next, you'll want to make sure that you've cut out 4 small rectangle pieces out of the tissue paper, so roughly around this size. The length that I've gone for is 24 and the width that I've gone for is 17, so roughly go for a size like that. It doesn't matter too much how big you do it, but it just needs to be smaller in length and width than the first piece of tissue paper that you use. What you're going to need to do is do some folds. So you're going to want to fold it like this, like that. After this, you're going to want to get your flower stem and you're going to want to place it so that it looks like this. You're going to want to place it so that it looks like this next to the stem. So this is what it should look like so far, and then you're going to want to get the other piece that you made and you're going to want to again replicate that shape, and then you're going to want to again replicate that with the other 2 sheets of tissue paper. This is the effect you should have so far. It looks so gorgeous. And now I'm just folding the last two parts of the tissue paper like so. Then I'm just going to place it right here like this. Once you have done that, you should end up with something looking a little bit like this. And as you can see, you can kind of just play around with the folds. It looks better when the folds are straight, and when they have less creases, it just looks a little bit more professional and it just looks a little bit nicer in my opinion. So what you want to do is just make sure that the flower is in the centre, because it's just going to make it look more symmetrical. So I'm going to keep it like this, and then I'm just going to tie a little bow to hide that part and put it in the centre. This is the last bouquet wrapping method that I've now finished, and I do have to say this is my favourite one. I really do like this one. This is what it looks like when you've cut the stem, and I do think that looks a lot better now. Do remember to comment down below which bouquet wrapping method is your favourite. I really did enjoy this video, so do let me know as well if you would like me to film any more bouquet wrapping videos in the future. Do remember to subscribe to my channel as I mentioned at the beginning of this video. I will see you on my next video next Sunday. Bye!